So you were born in Scotland, I think, right?
That's true.
Yeah. And raised in all the other end of Great Britain.
Exactly, completely the other end, yeah.
Is that something which influenced your music or your playing or your career?
I don't know. I guess it influenced me personally because when I was 3 years old, I had a complete shift of like life, and everybody who I knew suddenly changed. Musically, it may have changed because my parents were playing in a church. They were actually leaders of a church, and they were both keyboard players or piano players in the church. So I think from a very early age, I had church music, and then after the age of 3, then I was probably exposed to more popular music and outside world because my parents left the church at that point.
So music was something which was in the home where you grew up.
Oh, completely.
Really available and important. Okay.
My dad even used to play to me and my brother when we were in the womb.
All right.
He told us stories about like playing, because he was a classical pianist, so playing Rachmaninoff and stuff to our fetus brain. And I don't know if you can really hear music at that point, but maybe you can vibrate to it, maybe nod your head. My dad taught me piano from a young age, and he was very kind of hands off. Like if I didn't do practice, which I generally didn't, then he wouldn't scold me or say you need to do this. It was completely as much as I wanted to put in, then I would get out, which was actually very little when I was young, because I was more into video games or football or something. Then when I was a teenager, my brother showed me like some soul and Motown and funk, and I kind of he showed me how to play a 12-bar blues on the piano, and I started to see this link between the notes on the page, which I've been brought up with, and then the notes in my ears, and jazz was kind of the middle point between those two worlds, and I just started to use it to express myself when I was a teenager. And then when it came to deciding university, then I by that time I was pretty sure, like, okay, I want to do music.
Yeah, and I'm sure your parents were not objecting to that.
They weren't objecting. No, they didn't want me to do music though.
All right.
Yeah, I think my dad already kind of explored that route, and he was ready for his sons to do something else. Maybe he had higher aspirations than music, but in the end, yeah, the decision makes itself, doesn't it?
Sure. Did you play with your brothers, or do you have one?
I have one older brother, yeah. All the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what kind of music did you play then?
I have no idea what we were doing.
Oh, really?
It was... Yeah, I mean, we were listening to Herbie Hancock and the Headhunters and Weather Report, and at the same time, I was playing like Scriabin for my classical exams, so it was probably a really horrible fusion of those two elements. But it was really fun at the time.
Yeah,
and those were my first like really happy musical experiences. Was jamming with my brother and just improvising. I applied for the masters in Amsterdam Conservatorium.
Yeah.
And I didn't think I'd get in, but I did. And I really liked the teachers and the building, and I fell in love with the city as well. And in the one day I came for my audition, I was like, wow, I think this is going to happen.
Yeah, yeah. So what attracted you to come to Amsterdam?
To be honest, I didn't know at the time what was attracting me. I knew I wanted a change, but I wanted to keep doing music. But I maybe wanted a change from being in England. I wanted to travel, but I also wanted to keep studying music. So in a way, I could do both by coming to Holland.
Yeah. It's interesting that you mentioned Rachmaninoff or Scriabin, because Jamie Cullum said that you could hear the influence of Bach in your music. Is that something which you which you recognize or which you still use consciously to writing your own pieces and referring to classical examples, or is that something?
Let's say not consciously anymore, but there was a time when it was conscious. Early on when you're assimilating all your influences, then it's always going to be a more conscious process because you're choosing what you like and you don't like. Now, when I compose or when I play, I just shut my eyes and play, and I trust more in whatever the hell process it is that's producing the music. I just trust that process. But yeah, for sure there was a time when I was checking out Bach and thinking, I wonder if this chord could be in All the Things You Are, or I wonder if like his way of doing a cadence could be in a hip-hop beat. I wonder if that could work. I mean, the notes were on the page when I played Bach, so if I was going to shed some Bach, then the notes are all, you have to process them visually, like we were talking about, and conceptually before you can play music. You have to look at the language. So for me, reading music visually always engenders a more conceptual approach to music. And that's why I prefer never to have written music when I'm on stage, because I just want to be listening.
Yeah.
But if it is written down, then I start to think, what about this? Could this go here? And I'm more thinking, actually, which I don't like so much. I prefer to just play. Bass players I play with have the hardest time because there's some tricky things written out for the bass, and it's maybe not so easy to memorize all the chords. A drummer which I play with can normally internalize it more quickly after maybe a few gigs, then he'll have some stuff off the page. But for a bass player, it can take longer. For me, I don't play it on stage unless I know it well enough to play without the sheet music. The more you get off the page, then it's that simple. The more you get away from the page, the interaction will go up.
Yeah.
So I always feel like I should at least have it off the page. If I wrote the tunes, then what am I doing? Reading the music. Like, I need to know the tune. Otherwise, how are they going to learn the tune if I'm still trying to learn my own tune? Yeah. And that also means I can listen to them more, and at least I can be, even if they have to be in the chart for a few gigs, then at least I can have a more of an overview, holistic listening.
Yeah.
When you are off the page and when you're really in the room, then the room is actually part of the performance. They may not know it because they didn't hear your gig the night before and the night after, but the audience is actually part of the band. So the way they interact and the way they listen to you is changing the way you play. So I think it could be just as much that you're expressing to them, because they're just as much a part of the performance as you are on stage.
Or maybe you can tell something about Icarus.
Yeah.
Why was it called Icarus?
Yeah, that's the subject of much misunderstanding and controversy from journalists, because I now realize that in Dutch, Ikaros is the Greek Icarus, which in English we take from the Latin, so it's Icarus with a U. Anyway, Ikaros is a Quechua term, Quechua being the language of the Amazonian tribes before the conquistadors came and spread Spanish and Portuguese. And it means medicine song. So Icaro is something which is never written down. It's something that the shamans say is taught to them in dreams and in hallucinatory visions. And it's something that they sing literally to heal people and to create. They drink this brew called ayahuasca, and there's 10 people sitting in a circle, and the shaman will sing an Icaro, and somehow the people sitting in the circle have the same vision. They say, I like the part with the green dragon underneath the apple tree. So I need to go there, and this is something which is on my to-do list when I have some money and some time. But there's something which just, like, it resonated with me so much more than calling it songs or standards or what are they, compositions, I don't know what they are. But Ikaros is just kind of what I feel that these things called little bites of music. That's what I feel they are. I feel they're Icaros.
Yeah. Truth as well as medicine.
Yeah, because truth heals you. Truth's the only thing that can heal you.
In the liner notes, it says, music is a medium through which to convey truth.
Yeah.
So this is something really you, which is part of your ambition, to convey something apart from expression. You want to convey truth.
Yeah,
right?
Definitely. Because you don't just want to convey, I'm hungry.
No.
Or I didn't get enough sleep last night. Or I haven't seen my girlfriend in a month. You know, you want to convey more permanent things than that, if possible. So you have to, for me, it's kind of like meditation. It's like a way of overcoming the more superficial thoughts and feelings that are always going round, and going actually above that to a more, that's what I mean by truth. It's a very vague term, but something more than just your, not that there's anything wrong with primal feelings, but maybe something different to that. Because I hear that as well when I listen to Bach, or when I listen to Jay Dilla, or when I listen to Bill Evans.
Yeah.
I hear that they're doing that. So it's not really my idea. It's something I got from listening to music. That they're not expressing, I'm Bill Evans at this time and blah blah blah. This is my story. They're on something higher than just their own individual worries. He's always there, because I've listened to his music thousands of times. So that's now that's an influence. I can't escape the fact that that's an influence. Yeah. Now I delved more into his influences and the people that he influenced.
Like, for instance?
For his influences, Bud Powell. People that he influenced, Keith Jarrett. Because there's definitely a lineage there. So yeah, I'm just unfolding the rope.
You're going to record a new CD, right? This fall.
Mm-hmm.
Could you tell something about it already?
Yeah, we're going to record in the end of November.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be with Tobias Nybor, who played on Icaros, and a different drummer called Jamie Pate, who I love his playing also. And yeah, we've been playing together for, I'm not sure how long now. We played together actually a lot when, if Caspers couldn't make a gig, then Jamie would sub, and it changed the sound of the band. And then Caspers moved to Latvia, and it was kind of just a natural shift.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll be playing all original compositions, some older ones, which I haven't recorded yet, and then like all the new stuff which I've been writing the last few months.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think the trio that's like my home.
Yeah.
That's where I feel like I'm free, you know.
Yeah.
I also produce some electronic music, and that's kind of my outlet from playing in trio. That's where I can have every say over the hi-hat and over the exact bass line placement. That's where I choose that. Mm-hmm. But in terms of like playing acoustically and playing live, then it's all about the trio for me. If I find a saxophone player who I love, or a guitar player who I love, then that's something different. Mm. And I like to play with them on the basis of their musicianship. But it all starts from piano, bass, drums for me.